All right, so you're lost and you don't really know quite where to go. All right, so you're lost. And when you're lost, it kind of feels like this blank piece of paper. There's not really any direction to anything. Everything's just kind of this white blank space. And you can't really derive meaning from anything you do because you don't really know where you are. It's just all this white space and maybe there's some blue lines in between. And this is a terrible feeling. But one of the things that we do have when we are lost is oftentimes we have an imagination. We think of things, and some of these things that we think of, we might quite like and we might quite want someday in our future. And, you can call these maybe your aspirations. They're what should be in your life or what you think should be within your life in order to really, honestly, just sort of what you think would make things better. And they're oftentimes out here and we can look at them, but we're still in this white space. There's still nothing really that we can grab onto, that we have any footing on to ever get here. And worse than that, when we're in this position, oftentimes these aspirations are really vague. We don't really understand them fully. And so you're kind of just aiming in this general direction, but you don't really know where to go and you can't really get anywhere. And so another part, something that you do know exists, is reality. And so reality, and I'll put this in a big square. This one's kind of floating around here. It's kind of floating around. It kind of changes from day to day. It's kind of floating around. This here is rigid. It's the truth. It's what's actually going on. And keep in mind, you are right here. You're not at your reality. You're just kind of floating out here. And so in order to get to here, you first need to stand on top of here. You first need to be right here. And this is a hard process. This process involves facing things that you don't really want to face. I guess the best way to put it is, it sucks. Or, maybe it probably does. There's probably a high likelihood that there are a lot of things in your reality that you do not like, that you're maybe not doing so well in your job, that maybe the relationships that you've held up, maybe you haven't been the best person to the people that you should be the best person to. Maybe it's that you aren't taking control of your finances, your spending is bad, that you're out of shape, that all these things that could occur. It could go as far as saying that, maybe your reality is that 100 years from now, you probably won't be known, and that's something that might affect your decisions, So these are all things that are real, that actually happen. And so then you have this reality and you need to get to here in order to move forward, in order to walk along this arrow, I guess, of pure action to get you from here to here. And so let's play that out a little bit more. So here is a bigger box, and this is reality. And here you are, you've sort of made it to reality. You've realized real, keep in mind real. You've realized what is actually going on, where you actually are in life, and it probably isn't where you want to be. And now up here, up top, you have this cloud of what you think everything should be. It's your aspirations. It's what you think about, what you wish could happen. And oftentimes, one thing that we want to do is just jump here. but you can't really do this. And oftentimes when you try to do this, it's more so because of the allure of whatever this is. It's more so because you think this is in a way cool or is going to solve your problems or something of that nature, when in actuality, it may not be what best makes you happy. This path, first of all, is near impossible, but even if it does occur, it may not be what actually brings you happiness. Oftentimes, what brings us happiness is forward movement. And so, small forward movements like this might be something that actually brings you somewhat joy, because you can't make this leap. You'll just fall and you'll end up back here, not in touch with your reality and still searching for this over here, but you don't really know what it is. So being here at your reality, making small steps to address it and to hopefully make it better, to ultimately answer the questions you don't want to answer. These small steps, these forward moving actions, are what can ultimately lead you to happiness, or whatever you think that may be. This is ultimately what we may attribute happiness as. And so, this being said, when you're on this journey, this is oftentimes exciting. This is oftentimes brings you more enjoyment than you've probably experienced making these leaps that you'll try to make. And so, starting with these, you may just get lost in these. And you may find that what you actually wanted was just the allure of this. And that doesn't really matter. And what really matters is taking these small steps and enjoying each of them and moving from there. And maybe one day, these clouds will ultimately end up at what you first desired. Or maybe one day, they won't, but you'll be over here and you'll be laid back on a chair, because guess what? You still address your reality in a way that you never thought you could, and you're not over here anymore. You've made steps in the right direction, and you've addressed what is actually real, what actually goes on in your life. And each of these little things have become some realities that you've had and that you've moved from to ultimately get you to here. And this won't even matter. So address your reality and move from there.